They speared crabs in the surf, spearfished off breathtaking reefs, subsisted on what they caught, plus coconuts, for 4 days. They marooned themselves on a deserted Pacific island and lived to make a most excellent video out of it. This isn't Survivor, and while this guy may look like Matthew McConaughey, this isn't Hollywood's latest summer blockbuster either. This is Jeff Flake, Republican senator from Arizona, on a survivalist trip last week with his 2 youngest sons, 15-year-old Tanner and 13-year-old Dallin.
What is the inspiration for this?
Well, 4 years ago, I took a similar trip about 20 miles from here, just a different island, and stayed for 7 days and 7 nights. My first thought after getting off that island was, where's a cheeseburger? And then the next thought was, this would be a lot more fun with my kids.
Just getting there was ambitious. From Phoenix to Hawaii to Kwajalein Atoll to the tiny 1,000-foot wide island of Bigoren, it was 10,400 miles round trip. What'd they bring with them?
We brought no food and no water, but we brought some desalinator pumps to pump seawater.
Plus a lobster trap that was lost to a shark. One of those apex predators also provided the Flakes with their most dramatic moment.
I speared a grouper, quite a big one, and it wriggled the spear out of my hand, and I had to dive down about 20 feet to retrieve the spear with the fish on the end of it. And by that time, 4 sharks had closed in on the fish. And we were about 50 yards out, but we didn't want to lose our meal, so we grabbed the spear, and Dallin and I hightailed it for shore, and with the sharks in pursuit.
They made it back safely. Sleeping under the palms and stars in hammocks might seem to most of us like the best part. Nope.
The best part was actually every night we had to pump water for about an hour, and both boys would sit down with a pump in their hand, and the lead would be put in the ocean, and we'd just watch the sunset. And there were no cell phones, obviously, no texting, no distraction.
Flake and his wife have 5 children. The 2 oldest are married, the middle one's in college. During the last campaign cycle, Flake wasn't around much and promised this trip to his 2 youngest boys.
What does your wife think of all of this, and is this going to be a Flake family tradition from now on?
You know, she was obviously worried at the dangers, but she valued the time that I would be able to spend with the boys more than the risks there, and so she was a good sport about it. She says, I'll go back to that island when there's a hotel on it.
In fact, Senator Flake says that the last time he did this 4 years ago, he got some very good advice from his wife. She suggested he keep a journal and share it with the media to quell any skepticism about the trip. That's because that came just around the time then South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford was caught lying about a supposed hiking trip on the Appalachian Trail when Sanford was really in Argentina with his girlfriend. Brian Todd, CNN, Washington.